I'm going to set the scene for you real quick. All right. So I get the call, the digital format once again, because Robert is back in California. He walks in, no shirt on. His 6-pack is flourishing. His body just looks great. And I said into the microphone, press that thing against my fucking face. And he didn't hear me because he wasn't wearing it. And this is part of his little scheme that he has going on for this week. He thinks he can deter me with his radiant skin, his smooth and just overall aura of nothing but pure sex. He's trying to throw that at me to throw me off of my A game for what we're going to discuss today. This might be the most serious episode of Dudes with Brews on the Porch to have ever been created, including the episodes that were deleted. This is more serious than that. We got a lot to talk about. We got a lot to catch up on. But first, as Robert caresses his body in front of the camera, say those magic words.
Fucking cue it, man.
Micro brews, dude.
Dude. Here we are. Here we are. So we weren't able to meet again in person, at least to record. Last week was quite the week. We recorded. We had Robert's brother's wedding on Friday. Trevor, great time. It was fun. Congratulations to them. And then I had another wedding the next day in Madison, Wisconsin, and it was just a back-to-back blunder of a weekend, and I just couldn't do it. I was burnt out by come Father's Day, and Rob made his way back to where he had to go, his home in California. A lot of things happen, things that need to be unfolded, things that need to be discussed. But first, it is Dudes with Brews on a Porch. Robert, what do you have cooked up for the beer this week?
I'm drinking from Everywhere in Orange Brewery. I think it's just called Everywhere.
Yep.
It's in Orange County.
Cool.
Kind of a weird, doesn't make sense. But anyway, Irresistible is what it's called. It's a German Pilsner. That's all I have. Save the Earth. That's what it says.
It's a German Pilsner brewed with extra premium German Pilsner malt and hopped with a Hallertau. Oh, God. Mittelfruhe, some German word. It is a Pilsner, as we said. 5.2 on the ABV, 0 on the IBUs. From the picture that you sent to me, the sandwich that it accompanied looks absolutely delicious. How the beer looks crisp. How's it flowing?
Well, the sandwich was delicious.
Yeah.
Yes, I ate the whole thing already.
Good.
I've been trying to get that tri-tip sandwich from Handy Mart for a
Okay.
long time. They only have it once a week.
Oh, all right.
What do the levels look like? What's where I'm at here? Because I'm holding the mic.
You're a little hot, I think.
So bring it back here.
Yeah, that might be good.
It's gonna be awkward for my arm to do, but okay, I'll make it work. I'm gonna try this beer.
Try the beer.
It smells sweet.
Mm-hmm.
Smells like a Pilsner, but it's very. I got this Pilsner because I had a Pilsner whilst in the hot tub.
Hot tub.
A couple nights ago.
All right.
It was from a place called Homage Brewery in Chinatown. It was really good, so I got a Pilsner again.
Pilsners are kind of like your go, especially in the state of Wisconsin. I feel like Pilsners are a go-to. We're a German-based state. We have rich German heritage and history within our state. German Fest happens on the Summerfest grounds in Milwaukee, Wisconsin, one of the biggest festivals of all time. Oktoberfest going down there as well. So I think it's kind of in our culture, in the world of Wisconsin, the Pilsner. It's something that we enjoy a lot. Of course, like our go-to, or I would say flag. Was it Flagstaff? How Flagstaff? Is that what's the word?
Flagship
Pilsner would be a Miller Lite, believe it or not, of all things. So how's it compare to that?
It's better, obviously. No offense to Miller Lite, but
Too
that's
much.
not a great beer in my opinion. I'm more of a High Life man if I'm going with the old generics.
Mm-hmm.
But this is a good beer. It's crisp and like it's got a sweetness right up front. Then it gets like a little earthy kind of, and almost like it almost like I don't want to say it foams, but it feels like it foams in your mouth with the crispiness, and then it
Mm.
gets sweet again on the back end.
Okay.
There's like a 3 to 4 dimensional or journey, a 4 step journey that you go on when you take a sip of this beer. It seems like, and I took 3, and it held up on every sip. So I
Hell
think
yeah.
that's safe to say.
Yeah. And Pilsners are like your everyday drinking beer. Like you got the lagers, and then a close second is the Pilsner, right? When you're watching the game, when you're going to the baseball diamond, when you're having a picnic, when you're just chilling with your friends and your family, and you're just looking for a kickback, relaxed beer, the Pilsner is really go-to. In my opinion, I think that's always a good one. I'm switching it up a little bit, Rob. I am, because of the seriousness of the debate that we are going to have today, the seriousness of the discussion of how you absolutely wronged me last week in person, just behind my back. It breaks my heart to even think about it still, but we'll talk about it. Serious business calls for serious drinks. I bought this bottle of bourbon last week in celebration of a marriage, in celebration of two people who I adore, who I admire, who I look up to. One person that I've known majority of my life, and I have a close friendship to, and I would even call him a brother. Tying the knot with his wife. I bought this as a celebration to him. Drank it that night, the night that you wronged me. So we're
It's still the same one. You didn't finish it.
no, of course not. That was,
Okay, so I can actually talk about how this one tastes a little bit too.
yeah. So I'm drinking some bourbon today. I've turned over into a bourbon man. I still love the beer, but I'm having a bourbon tonight, and it's either RD1 or Round 1. RD is on the bottle. RD1. It's a small batch Kentucky Straight Bourbon, double finished in oak and maple barrels. So it is Round 1 Spirits is the company, or RD1 Spirits. It is sourced from an undisclosed Kentucky distillery. That's right. 99.9 proof. It is aged at least 4 years, per their company website. 70% corn, 21% rye, 9% malted barley. It is an amber of color. When you give this, and I gotta tell you, it's awesome. It is probably one of the best bourbons I've had because of the oat and maple of it. So when you sniff it, you get a graham cracker kind of smell to it. You definitely get that maple on the up front. When you taste it, you let it sit a little bit, you get that maple sugar, brown sugar. You got the maple. It's present. It's awesome. And the finish finishes with a little bit of a caramel taste to it. Overall, a sweet bourbon. Not like a lot of the bourbons that you're going to have. So if you're like a bourbon purist, this might not be the one that you want to have. It is a sweet, easy drinker with a lot of maple syrup flavor throughout. It's delicious. I like to drink mine with ice. There is no wrong way to drink bourbon. A lot of people they'll put it in, have a sip of it neat with no ice, and then once you put the ice in it, it does change the profile a little bit, but I like mine chilled. I like mine cool. I throw ice in it. So that's what I'm having today, because this is serious business. Now, you had some of this last week.
Yeah, I'm just realizing that you just described that bourbon in more detail than we've ever described any beer on this podcast in the last 6 years.
Probably.
Yeah, I'm sure that our fans love that.
Well, I mean, I feel like at a certain point in your life, and especially when you're a straight white man like myself, I can only speak from my perspective. I'm 33. I'm closer to 34 than not. So, I think there's a point in your time in your life, if you're a beer drinker, you turn into a whiskey or bourbon guy. I really think you do. And
I think if you're a beer drinker with a beard, you turn into a bourbon guy.
Right.
If you're a man who looks like a child for his entire life, you start with gin, you slide into beer, and then you come back to gin again.
Okay, fair enough.
But I'm only speaking from my own perspective.
So I tried this. I bought it in celebration. I'm glad I bought this one. It's delicious. It's smooth. It's one that you don't. Oh, there's a big ass rainbow out my window. We've had some wild.
Your dog is looking at it right now.
Yeah. Oh, wow. There's just
black and white.
We've had some quite the storms. Yo, babe, there's a rainbow. Happy Pride Month. Anyways, back to business. So had this last week. The wedding was fun, man. I enjoyed it. All right, so I'm gonna paint a picture. Okay. I'm gonna let the event unfold. Right in front of us in audio formats, okay?
So are we doing this from your perspective or from my perspective?
There's only one perspective, and it's the right one, which is mine. Beautiful Thursday, right? Or no, beautiful Friday.
Already wrong. Already wrong.
Beautiful Friday. You
can't trust a word he says from this point on.
I was fortunate enough to be asked to be a part of this wedding. I didn't think I would be asked to be a part of this wedding strictly because Trevor has a lot of brothers, and they aren't all important. I love them all. They're all great people. They're all my close friends. So thankfully, they're all included. I was included along with some other friends. Beautiful ceremony. We walked down. We heard some wise words from the officiant, who is another good friend of ours that we've known for quite some time. Awesome. Brilliant. They say their own vows. It was beautiful. It was touching. Dare I say, tear jerking a little bit. I got choked up with my. It was awesome. It was a beautiful thing. It was a good moment to watch, and to be a part of. Afterwards, there's the cocktail hour. Everyone's living it up. We're catching up with people we haven't seen in a while. Having a good time. Dinner time comes around. Beautiful spread. Everyone has a choice of some delicious ass food. We see some momentous speeches that are just given in honor of the bride and groom. I'm sitting by my wife. I'm sitting by my close friends. And it's just a beautiful thing. Your parents were not too far away from us. Awesome to catch up with them as always. Between that, I make my way to the bar. Got a refill on the suds. My wife and I are speaking with the groom, the person who just got married, Trevor. We're having a wonderful conversation, connecting on a different level as now two married men, and just having a good time. Really, really cutting the chops, really bonding in that 10-minute window. I return to where I was sitting for dinner. I look to my right, and there's Rob eating a piece of cake.
Wrong.
Well, you're eating a piece of cake. You had a piece of cake.
Empty cake plate. Very important.
Okay. The cake was
eaten. I had eaten cake.
Rob had eaten cake.
I'm getting called from work.
God damn it. Well, okay. Well, for the sake of time, so Rob's got to go back to work.
Are you recording me right now?
Yeah, I was.
Oh, that's fine. You can put it on there. I don't give a shit.
Okay. Beautiful evening. I come back. Cake is gone, right? And I say, where's my cake? I look at Rob, and he goes, oh, you don't care that I did this. I gave it to my mom. I gave it to my mom to eat. And I said, what? And he goes, oh, I thought, you watch what you're eating. You're trying to be healthy and all that. And I was like, wait a minute. I deserve that cake. I ran 5 miles this morning. I've been exercising. I've been doing the things. I deserve that cake. You gave it to your mother. And you tried to twist it. Your mother deserves all the cake in the world. Your mother is a wonderful human.
Doesn't sound like you think that. Doesn't sound like you think that.
Your mother is a wonderful woman who I love very much. Okay, I will say that. I love her. But you know what, Rob? You got your piece of cake. That's funny. That's funny that you have this argument. Oh, I gave it to my mom. You could have given her your piece of cake. She deserves.
I didn't. Hey, wait. Stop right there. It's very important.
Okay.
I got my cake and I ate it because I'm a gluttonous I have no patience. Before I found out that my mom did not have her piece of cake.
So you gave her mine.
Had I known that she did not get her piece of cake, I would have given her my piece of cake and your piece of cake because that woman deserves it.
But you didn't. You didn't do that. You didn't do that.
I can't go back in time. I can't go back in time.
You made the assumption that I don't deserve cake for all the hard work that I do. For once in my life, I said, be damned, my body dysmorphia. Be damned, my negative image that I have of myself. I'm not going to. Tonight I am celebrating my friend, and damn it, I'm going to eat that cake. I'm going to have that piece of cake. But no, a simple conversation with the groom leads me to being stripped away from my delicious piece of cake, and it was given to your mom. I don't care who you. I'm happy she enjoyed it. I'm happy she got it. She deserves it. You're right. But you know what? You could have given up yours, and you didn't. And that is where you're wrong.
First off, I couldn't have.
You could have. You could have, but you didn't.
I didn't know.
Even if she got her own piece of cake, you could have just given it to her because you're like, you deserve this, right? You deserve it so much.
I planned forward by saying I'm going to give everybody a second piece of cake.
Yeah.
No one does that.
You literally just said that. You literally just said you would have given her mine and yours.
No one likes this when you talk over me. All right? Who got you a half a piece of cake?
You got me. Somebody's half-eaten piece of cake. You did. Congrats.
Not just somebody's. We knew who it wasn't a random piece of cake.
Regardless, you had to backpedal. You knew you were wrong. You're like, I'm squandering right now.
What do you want me to say? You want me to say I felt bad about it?
I want you to acknowledge that you shouldn't have given my piece of cake away. It was mine. It wasn't yours. It was mine. And your mom deserves the cake. The rest of the night, we debated about this all night. And you know what? What happened 2 hours later? Your mother brought me a piece of cake. Somehow she found a piece of cake and brought it to me because she knows that I'm the one that texts her first every Mother's Day. And I am one of the first people to text her happy birthday every year, too.
I don't think that's why she gave you the cake.
It's because she loves me more than you. I'm just kidding.
Even is what she said. Should I take umbrage with that as well?
I wasn't.
I put our friendship on the line for my mom to have that piece of cake. And she says she loves you the same as me.
I'm not upset at
I'll
your
apologize to you. I'll apologize to you. I took your cake. I took away your cake. Yeah. All right. I did it.
Stripped it away from me.
I did it for the holiest, wholesomest of reasons.
Yeah, because yours was already gone.
To make sure that my mother had a piece of cake at her son's wedding.
But you didn't stop to think. You didn't wait for everybody else to get their piece of cake before you just dove in, and then you're like, oh gosh, I gotta look like the.
Let's just all right. Let's parcel out the blame. Yes, you want to say 80% is mine. We must be dating. But at least 10% goes to the caterers who I've never seen anybody pass out cake so sloppishly and stupid.
I would agree.
Now, granted, the food was great.
Everybody should have gotten
the cake when it was fresh was really good.
Yeah, I bet. And not half eaten by somebody else's saliva. But I think the caterers. The rule of thumb is like anybody at the head table gets a piece of cake, for God's sake.
They should have just put them on empty spots.
But here's the problem. The next day, you double down and you say, well, you're at a wedding right now, so it doesn't.
You're going to another wedding to get another piece of cake.
Listen, and if the people who are listening to that the second wedding I went to, I ate your cake. It was cheesecake. But listen, it was cheesecake bites. It wasn't a full piece of cake, bites. So I, of course, the glutton I am, had to consume 6,000 pieces of it to even equate to the piece of cake that I should have gotten initially the day prior. Had I had that piece of cake prior to that, I might not even had cake. Just because I'm going to
keeping cake counters. If there's a little cake counter, Drew had 1.5 pieces of cake.
I did
on Friday, and apparently 16,000 bites of cake on Saturday.
They're little pieces.
Either way, he's
bites.
Ahead of me in the cake count.
They're like the size of a dime. But it's like you can't hold that against me. You're gonna get cake tomorrow. No. I deserved it in the moment. We had this discussion not that long ago about how I'm trying to live in the moment. and you took that moment away from me. You robbed me. If I was, I feel like I'm a little child at a candy store, and the man in front of me
rob you of a moment. I gave you a new moment, a moment without cake.
And it was horrible. It was
But
awful.
you chose to dwell on the past, on the cake that was, but is no longer.
I gotta say, my feathers are still ruffled.
I'll say this: after a week and a half of thinking about it, I was wrong to take your cake. I'm sorry.
You're just saying this because we have to end the episode because
I legitimately, I thought about starting this episode that way just to take the steam right out of you, just to take the piss out of you. Come in and go, you know what, Drew? That cake thing, I'm really sorry about that. It was stupid. That was, you only get one chance to have a piece of cake at my younger brother's wedding.
You're right.
Although you did have 3 chances to get cake. The time I took away from you the half piece that I gave you and the piece that my mom gave you, but
it's not
for
the
most
same.
of us, we only get one chance at cake.
And you did it all because 3.5 years ago at my wedding, I let 75% of the song "Can I Kick It" play before I turned it off, before I had it switched.
I don't think so. I just think that we've got into a new habit of arguing at weddings.
Did the DJ play that song after I left?
Yeah, then the dance floor got bumping.
You're full of shit.
Yeah, no, I took it off the list because I got nervous.
Good.
What if he's right? I thought. What if it's not a good wedding song? I thought.
What if I should have given my mom the piece of cake?
Yeah. I start rethinking my whole life.
Good. I'm glad.
So if that's what you wanted, I hope you're happy.
You're actually moving back to Wisconsin because you're like, oh gosh, everything I've done. I'm glad we had this talk, and by this talk I mean my paranoid infused meltdown, in which the results are, the conclusion is I was right.
Okay, well, in my opinion, this is what I say. We table this until the next wedding we're at together, where we get into a different fight about something else, and we'll bring up the kick to, can I kick it? We'll bring up the cake. We'll just keep piling on wedding arguments until
everybody's married or dead.
Yeah, first one to die doesn't get to. No one gets to hear his side of the story, and
do you think
they lose?
Hopefully, knock on wood, somebody we mutually know doesn't pass away. Do you think we'll get some sort of debate at a funeral?
Probably not. I'm gonna try.
Right. Yeah,
I'm not a debater at a funeral. I think we're a little bit classier than that.
I think so too. So, not more
many. You never know.
So if you happen to be getting married, and you're a casual listener of this podcast, we'll try to attend if you invite us, and we'll see what happens. Until then,
find some lapel mics. We'll live stream our argument.
That's right.
It was a lot better at the night of. I'll say that.
It was pretty funny.
Especially when we did a dance battle to Britney Spears' "Toxic," which I won.
You think? My pelvic thrusts were pretty powerful.
You had the better dance moves, but I had the better ender.
All right, man. It's not about the journey; it's how you finish, right?
That's what I've always been told.
Yeah, that's what.
Speaking of finishing, the beer is good. I have got to go.
All right, man. This is part of life, but
sadly, it is the way it is.
This bourbon is fucking amazing. I hope everybody has a chance to get it. We'll see you soon. Toodaloo.
Yeah.